Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1984's DECODER. 1984's DECODER. With the alternate cover here, there is a slipcover that has beautiful alternate, almost liquid sky-like artwork. And here are a couple screenshots from the back here. Beautiful. This is such an unknown movie. Look at the font for the title of this film here. Never heard of this film before in my life. Look at this artwork, by the way. Oh my gosh. Never heard of this film before in my life. And then, of course, Vinegar Syndrome puts it out on DVD and Blu-ray. On the top here, it mentions the name William S. Burroughs, who's actually in this film. Yes, and he was had things to do with David Cronenberg's Naked Lunch and many interesting writings. We have music by Soft Cell in here, as well as some other bands like Psychic TV and Blue Rondo, A La Turk, and even a German industrial band. Right there, that line. And this is directed by Muscha. Muscha. Wow. This is, man, this is a German film, and it's a film unlike anything I've seen before. I know I say that a lot, but it just so happens that these are the films I look at lots of the times in this YouTube page. We got a symbol that's in this film as well. Make a nice wrist tattoo for anybody. And DECODER, look at this. Tape, frog's eyes, psychedelic art in the background. My gosh, this thing is insane. I gotta tell you, you know, this is a late night atmospheric experience. This is one of those movies that the viewer is just thrown into. Nothing is explained to the viewer, and it's the type of film, I know I've talked about this in other films on this YouTube page, where they don't dumb down the viewer at all. The viewer needs to interpret it. It needs to decipher it, needs to decipher the story, the characters, what exactly is going on within the storyline, artistically, sound-wise, visually, character-wise, everything. And it isn't spoon-fed to you. You're thrown into this world as if you are a spectator. You're thrown into this 88-minute world, this late-night world, and I, you know, this abstract, surreal, new wave, dark, neon world. I'm going to list a couple films here. And as I list these films, these are films that give me vibes. They just give me vibes that DECODER kind of exists in or something. I think of Pink Floyd's The Wall. I think of Liquid Sky, which I've looked at on this YouTube page. I think of the film Hardware with the robot, Richard Stanley's film. I think of those three films, just off the top of my head, those worlds, and that this film kind of existing in that world. And again, I have to tell you, late night. This is a late night world. This is a late night movie. It's a nightmare. It's a dream. It deals with nightmares and dreams. It's surreal, as I mentioned. Televisions, perception, being watched, sight, you know, almost way ahead of the Truman Show and a little microcosm of that world. Neon, frogs, sound, the power of music, consumer culture, fast food, punk, sound. I can't emphasize that enough. The sound. Peep shows. The red light district. attraction and dreams, animals, rebellion, protesting, rioting, the government versus the people, punks, underground subcultures, the voice of the people. The film and the footage of the film through the television. Kind of the all-seeing eye. That's another thing that I see here. The all-seeing eye. As I stated, perception. But who's watching? Who's watching? Love, domestication, the lack of domestication, food. These are all elements. Money. Poverty. Work. This is such a unique film. There's lots of sound in this movie. There's this amazing new wave kind of 70s sleazy sounding song that actually has the lyrics of sleaze. It might be soft sell. We have industrial dark sounds, throbbing sounds. This is a film of sounds. The storyline involves sounds. This is a film of sound and turn it up. This is a film of voices. We have subtitles for the German language, but we also have English thrown around throughout it as well. When you first put in this movie, it's throbbing with sound in a dark scape, dark wave, industrial, and new wave. And kind of oppressive cacophony, chaos, noise sounds as well in the movie. When you first push play in the film and you see the opening credits and you see the long hallways and you see the way the camera glides, you're going to see some camera work, cinematography of gliding cameras, some chaotic editing, flashing strobe light editing in the film as well. And as I mentioned, lots of neon lighting, blues and reds, and aluminum foil, and kind of these surreal desert landscapes, dream worlds, nightmare worlds. It's all in here. DECODER is a slice of German underground punk subculture, but it's also a slice of this almost unheard of, unknowable power, behind the scenes power. It's not explained. It's open for interpretation. It's not explained. It's a force, a world. It begins and it ends. 88 minutes. It's an experience. It's an atmosphere. It's dark. It's beautiful. It's filled with life and movement. The kind of the main German girl in the film wears like a shaved head with a tattoo on the side of her scalp. She's really hot if you like that pale kind of punk German girl look. You're gonna love her, especially when she put. I think she's a girl in the Peep Show too. And there's even elements in here that remind me of that that Vinegar Syndrome release that I'm blanking on right now, so I'm going to try to look it up as you're on here. It's called Star. I just thought of this. Oh gosh. Yeah, just give me a. There's a. This is embarrassing. There's another film that Vinegar Syndrome has put out that also the world of this film kind of reminds me of a piece of this movie. And Star Time, thank you, Star Time, definitely. This is Decoder from 1984. It states in the back here, an underground hit from Germany's punk and new wave infused youth culture of the early 80s. Arresting visuals, urban industrial aesthetics, science fiction, and moments of shocking violence. Yes, there are some moments of shocking, disturbing, violent scenes in this film. Humans, animals, genitalia. Yes, it's here. This is a wild one. We even have some topless nudity in here as well. This is 1984's Decoder. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like Decoder. The power of music, the power of sound, the power of music in our stores. The power of a film that throws you in and you have to decipher for yourself. Please feel free to check out my own personally made films at my Vimeo site, www.vimeo.com/poopydiarrhea, POOPYDIARRHEA. Follow me there to hear my music, to see my films. Thank you so much, and good night.